On the cold, empty streets, survival is a battle every single day. For a stray dog with no family and a tiny kitten left to face the world alone, hope seemed impossible. But sometimes, in the most unexpected places, love finds a way. This is the story of how a homeless dog became a protector, a parent, and a friend to a lonely little kitten. He wandered the streets, thin and hungry. His paws were sore from walking on rough pavement. People passed by, but few even noticed him. To many, he was just another stray. Yet inside his tired body, his heart was still strong. Despite everything he had lost, he still longed for connection, for someone to care about. One evening, as the sun was setting behind broken rooftops, the dog heard a faint sound, a cry. It wasn't a human voice, it was softer, weaker. He followed the sound to a dark corner. There, curled up in a small box, was a tiny kitten, shivering, abandoned, barely strong enough to open her eyes. The dog tilted his head, listening closely. Something stirred inside him. He could have walked away, but instead he laid down beside the kitten. The kitten meowed faintly, trembling. The dog pressed his body close, sharing what little warmth he had. For the first time in days, the kitten stopped shaking. That night, the streets grew colder, but the dog never moved. He stayed there, keeping watch, as if he had finally found a purpose. Days turned into weeks. The dog and the kitten became inseparable. He guarded her when cars rushed by. He shared scraps of food he found, and every time she cried, he was there. Onlookers began to notice the strange pair, a big, rough street dog and a fragile kitten who followed him everywhere. Some shook their heads in disbelief. Others couldn't help but smile. Against all odds, the stray dog had adopted the lonely kitten as his own. It wasn't just survival anymore. It was family. The dog would let the kitten climb on his back, carrying her across puddles. He would bark at strangers who came too close, shielding her with his body. And at night, they curled together, finding warmth not in a home, but in each other. What began as two abandoned lives had become one heartwarming bond. But life on the streets is never easy. One stormy night, the rain poured endlessly. The dog searched for shelter, carrying the kitten beneath an old wooden cart. The ground was muddy, the air bitterly cold. Lightning flashed above, and the kitten let out a frightened cry. The dog wrapped himself around her, ignoring the shiver in his own body. He knew he couldn't protect her from everything, but he would give everything he had to try. By morning, the storm had passed. The kitten, though tired, was safe, and the dog, exhausted but unbroken, licked her tiny face as if to say, "You're not alone anymore." Word of the pair began to spread. Sometimes kind strangers left food nearby, a piece of bread, a bowl of water, even a blanket once, which the kitten curled into while the dog stood guard. For the first time, the world seemed to notice them, not with indifference, but with compassion. One morning, a passerby noticed them resting together near a bench. The kitten's tiny head rested on the dog's paw. It was a picture of love, loyalty, and hope. The person stopped and didn't just walk away. They pulled out a phone, took a photo,
And soon others began to talk about this unusual family. And maybe, just maybe, that was the beginning of a new chapter, because sometimes kindness spreads when stories are told. A stray dog, a lonely kitten, two souls abandoned by the world who found in each other what they needed most: love. Their story reminds us that family isn't only about blood, it's about care, protection, and the courage to love when it seems impossible. If this story touched your heart, imagine how many more are waiting to be told. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, From Streets to Hearts, for more emotional stories of survival, hope, and second chances. Together, we can keep these stories alive and never let them be forgotten.